Welcome back to Soccer Cards United. It's episode 149 of the greatest soccer card podcast in the world. My name is Jason. That is Enzo over there. Hi Enzo over there.
Hello, Jason over here.
How you doing?
I'm well.
Good.
Great. I'm fantastic.
Good.
It's
good,
Monday,
good.
is it?
It's Monday today. Start of another week.
Unbelievable. Jason hosted a big party over the weekend, so I couldn't tell you what day it is.
Yeah. Still not feeling
The best. You could have done with one of those rolls today.
I could have done. But, you know, if anything, a podcast makes me come to life, raise my level.
Everything here, I believe, is very in order. More in order than I expected it to be. So you've been hard at work.
I've been hard at work and...
You seem in good form. I was chatting to you before we turned on the cameras.
Yeah.
And you don't seem how you're describing yourself being.
Well, I'm medicated.
Great. You're putting on a big facade.
Showbiz,
baby.
Right, so lots on the show today. But first of all, I just wanted to say that we have new products on soccercardsunited.com.
Oh, yes.
So this is one of my favourite announcements that we get to make.
When we remember to talk about our shop.
Yeah, so for anyone who listens and only listens to some episodes, we do have a shop. You could listen to this show for many years and months and never know.
So we just sold out of the Prism, Premier League Prism 2023.
Yeah.
That was not live for very long. We just got, for the first time ever, we are stocking Finest Flashbacks. We never actually stocked that initially, Jason.
Yeah.
We have the SPFL Chrome. We have the SPFL Chrome bundle, which has gone down very well. People love the bundle.
It's been flying out the door.
We have a restock of 2021 Topps Chrome Sapphire Edition, which is actually very interesting. Topps.com and I believe UK did a restock of that exact box over the weekend at like 665, and also of 2022 Sapphire, which is crazy. First time I've seen them do like a restock months after, and years
very
after
interesting.
That wasn't people in the F1 community noticed that.
Yeah.
We're down to one box of Formula 1 Dynasty.
Here we go.
We have the restock of those Manchester City team sets.
Yeah.
Coming soon is going to be this year's team sets as well. That's not live yet. I like to put it live when it's in hand, Jason. We have one more case of Dynasty, sealed case, if you're into that. And I think that's all the new stuff and the restocks, Jason.
Yeah, so exciting to have Finest Flashbacks there.
Yeah. We have more stuff coming. And I actually have some really nice boxes, really good boxes.
Yeah.
I'll give some examples. Merlin Chrome.
Oh.
Right. First edition from last year.
Yeah, 21-22 first edition.
Deco. Right. And Jason, I was debating restocking versus let's just bring it to card shows.
Right.
And I think card shows.
Okay.
There's only a couple boxes, one box here, one box there, you know.
Yeah.
I think it'd be nicer on the card show table, I think.
On the card show circuit.
I think so.
Yeah.
I feel like people are going to DM us now being like, I want it.
Yeah,
and just like Deco on our price, Jason, on our site is like 150. That was initial release, people.
So you're saying don't
people going,
don't get any ideas.
They sold for 150, now it's selling for 220. Lads, please let me buy it on your, and then they see this price is different and then they're going to be sad. That happens a lot.
That does happen a lot.
But I think they're going to be, if you catch us at a card show, they'll be on our table. That's what I'll say.
Okay. So
and there's still more to actually load on the site. So
right.
Keep an eye
out. And I tell you what, I'd love to open a box of that football Finest Flashbacks because I want to see what those box toppers are like in real life.
I'll bring one over, Jason. Sorry about that.
No problem.
I'm sorry.
It's not an issue.
I'll bring it over next time.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Also, we have had requests for the rookie spreadsheet,
the
Excel. That information will be getting parceled out
in some way.
And
we're probably going to post on Instagram about this, but we're doing a Postcards United this week for Thursday because I am going to be at Old Trafford for Man United versus Brentford Bees, so we're actually recording that tomorrow. So if you have any itching questions that you want to shoot our way, hit us up.
Great. Good. So send us some questions in. We'll do a Q&A show on Thursday. Because any live news that comes out Thursday, Enzo will be in Manchester watching Ten Hags Reds, I think they call them.
Ten Hags Reds?
Ten Hags Reds, they call them. I don't know if they call them that. Anyway, so we'll crack on with the show. Enzo, did you see this big news about the Topps MLB debut patch?
Did I see it? I shared it on our Instagram, Jason. Of course I seen it. I seen it before you. There's a question. That's how I'll answer that.
Okay.
Did you see it?
Did I see it? I just saw it there when you put it on Instagram. So
I'm fast.
here we go. So this is one of the great things about this is that it made non-sports card media. So this is from CBSSports.com. And if I can find,
where's your ad?
oh, hang on a second. Where's it gone? Is it not? Oh, maybe it didn't make CBSSports.com. Wait, 1 second. Tops. What's happened here?
Oh, Jason.
Tell us the news anyway. While I'm looking for this.
Fanatics have partnered with Topps, who they own, obviously. They've partnered with the MLB, should I say. Who, they're now, anytime an MLB player makes their official debut in Major League Baseball,
yeah,
their jersey is going to have a stitched-on patch, an MLB debut patch. Everyone that's listening to this has already knows about this, Jason, by the way. MLB debut patch is going to be on their uniform, and that is going to get cut off after the game, or unstitched off maybe, and they're going to use it to create, there it is on screen, they're going to use it to create the ultimate one-of-one rookie card. At the Mint Collective, Topps, people from Topps and Fanatics were talking about, should this appear in a flagship product, so a widely produced, low-cost product to get into, or should it be the big chase of a more premium set like Dynasty? I personally think, Jason, there's a chance this might be something that is kind of similar to like Panini's Kabooms, where it's like it actually will feature in multiple brands. Or maybe they're not going to tell you, or maybe, I don't know. Like, it might be a case of there's some players are in flagship, some players are in the high end. So I don't know. I have no idea what way they're going to swing it. If it's all in flagship, it's kind of cool because it's like,
it's the big chase in flagship.
It's a huge chase, you know. But if it's in a more premium product, it's also a huge chase. But I guess a lot of people are kind of removed from hitting it, because the price to access the bigger product. I don't know. It's crazy, and I just hope that we kind of see it in soccer. Although I don't know how we could possibly.
Yeah. So obviously, we could see it in soccer for the
Champions League debut.
Champions League debut, but when it comes to logistics and that side of things, the soccer hobby just isn't as developed. So like, we know like it's very hard for companies, it seemingly, to get on-card autographs for soccer players. So something like this, you know, or even you look at how difficult it is for them to actually get like match-worn stuff. Like, so something like this, which is quite like involved, like quite logistically complicated, it would be hard to do for soccer. But in saying that, never say never.
I think they could pull it off for international tournament debut. So for example, Topps have the Euro license.
Yeah.
I think you could get away with the first game anyone's playing in a European or World Cup competition.
Yeah.
You could get it on maybe, or maybe your first Euros, maybe Euro debut, which obviously it's not as prestigious.
But here's something as well. As far as I know, pretty much every MLB player, if you're in the MLB, you have a baseball card. You cannot be drafted into the MLB without and play for a season or two without getting a baseball card. This is not true currently of soccer.
Yeah.
So there'd be loads of players who would get the patches, but who would never make a checklist.
True.
You see.
Yeah, we did. We much more logistically a nightmare in soccer.
Yeah.
Like, you could do Champions League debut, but then it's like a lot of players might be at Champions League qualifiers, and does that count?
Yeah, does that count? And
they
then
were in the Europa League. Does that, you know?
Imagine you won the Europa League, but you don't get a patch, but you do get a patch. Just you go to the group stage of the Champions League. And
you'd like to imagine we're going to see this for basketball and for football, because
they're getting those licenses.
And they're also the same, right? One domestic. I mean, Formula 1, could you get it on it? Probably not.
But you know what I mean? You only get one patch.
Yeah,
ever.
That's a big chase.
True.
But no,
I mean, like, it'd be like
it perfectly fits into MLB, and it will do for NBA, and it will do for
the NFL.
a logo man debut. Yeah, it will, and I think we will see that when they get the licenses. And I also think, at the very least, Jason, I think it opens the door for them to do some form of specialized patch, potentially for soccer somewhere.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Okay. One more thing I was gonna say was I can't remember.
Sorry.
But it was gonna be no, it's gone. Can't remember. But it was I think
if you clench your fist, you remember.
Is that right?
Don't know. Find out.
No. Nothing. It's not working. So yes, I remember what I was gonna say. So do you think this is the
Did you remember because you clenched your fist?
We have no proof that that's not what happened. Is this the big announcement that Topps were talking about at the industry conference?
That's going to change everything forever.
Yeah. Because this isn't that.
I think so. But that does change the game in a respect.
It does. I suppose it brings it you're starting with the cards. It's like you're bringing cards to the forefront.
Like you're telling an MLB player, you're saying, hey, maybe you get MLS debut, by the way.
By the way.
Start there, people.
Because you already have all your infrastructure. You're traveling around getting the MLB ones.
You may as well.
But
I'm thinking MLB debut, like the players they're being forced now, if they didn't already know, they're being forced now to be like baseball cards. I understand. Because it's like, they're like, why do I have this patch and why are you taking it from me? And it's like, oh, this is for baseball cards, collectibles, and it's like, okay, cool, and now you're in it, even though your baseball cards are so big that you could not be in baseball without knowing about baseball cards.
Surely you'd have to be maybe from a country where baseball cards weren't so big. But then even if you were from a foreign country into baseball, you'd probably have heard, and it doesn't matter, but I accept your hypothetical.
So I don't think this is the big huge announcement, which, to be honest, it's kind of crazy because it is a huge announcement. Interesting. And it's genuine innovation from Fanatics.
Yes,
that's brilliant. Like I don't see any negative to this.
Now, a lot of people have said that this is something that realistically is not going to be a drop in the ocean compared to all the issues that exist. They're saying, right, but this is kind of a good news story. You know, everyone likes it, but realistically, how many patches are going to end up in people's hands? And like, there are other things
to fix.
But
I'd say this is I'd say there's a team that fixes and a team that innovates. These are the innovators.
These are the vision officers.
These are the chief vision executive officer people.
Great.
Has to be. I don't see any negative to it, to be honest.
No, there's no downside. We're happy. We're happy with this.
It's good.
Also, we get some news from Sports Collectors Daily on this week's show. It's been a while because...
Is it Rick?
It's
Rich?
No, Horatio Ruiz over at...
his debut, is it, on this show?
Could be
Horatio's
Horatio's
Soccer
debut.
United debut patches.
So we send him now a little patch to put on his...
episode...
149.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, when did you first go on Soccer Cards United?
When were you first debuted on Soccer Cards United? Here you go.
So here we go, right? This is from sportscollectorsdaily.com. Beckett's proposed grading scale change meets with opposition. So originally the news would have been... The headline would have been...
so there's a scale change.
Scale change for Beckett. But the reaction was so bad.
I learned something really important this weekend about Beckett that made me feel a lot more comfortable.
And what was that?
That Dr. Beckett himself is not actually involved in Beckett anymore because he sold his shares a long time ago. So now, because I always felt like bad to like slate Beckett because I'm like, because I know the history's there. I know Dr. Beckett was like probably,
he was doing it.
I'm like, oh, he sold. That's fuck them. They're terrible. They're
just a company with that name.
In the last 3 years, they've shown themselves not to be Dr. Beckett, and they've shown themselves to just shoot themselves in the foot and just try to fit in where they were already perfectly established, and they kind of just completely and utterly, disgracefully and shockingly and awfully lost market share daily for no reason. For no one. People were begging them to just say it's an April Fool's, have a bit of marketing nuance to your business, please. Just say it's April Fool's. It'd be great. It'd be gas, and they didn't.
Do you know Dr. Oetker pizzas?
I once had an Italian tell me that those pizzas are creme de la creme. They love them. Not as they love pizza, but like if I'm looking for a shitty pizza, you cannot beat Dr. Oetker. I know Dr. Oetker.
But did he sell his shares in the Dr. Oetker company?
Potentially.
Is he still involved? How many doctors? Is Dr. Pepper still involved in the drink? Okay, anyway. Less than 48 hours after introducing changes to the upper end of its long-standing grading scale, Beckett Collectibles backtracked amid backlash from its customers. Oh, Horatio has a real flair with the pen.
Alliteration.
Backtracked amid backlash from its customers, and at least for now has scuttled its plan.
This is whoa.
Whoa. The announcement acknowledged that the proposed changes weren't popular with customers. Among the most widely criticised changes was the lower designation of a gold 9.5 grade from its current Gem Mint to Mint Plus. And here's what they said, right, in a statement. After listening carefully to the feedback you all shared, we have decided not to make any changes to our grading scale at this time. The company stated that so we will keep you updated with an official announcement later next week regarding improvements to our grading scale. In its initial announcement, as the Mint Collective kicked off in Vegas last week, the company said it would expand its qualifications for a Gem Mint grade, allowing a card with just 110 subgrade and 3 9.5 to qualify as a Gem Mint 10. The move was meant to align Beckett with its competitors, who only give the Gem Mint designation to cards receiving a 10 grade. So We'll go through this in a second. But for more than 20 years, Beckett considered its 9.5 equal to a PSA 10, but that perception, at least in the mind of some collectors and dealers, depends on the subgrades. The market often saw a card with multiple subgrades 9.5 did not equal a 10 rating assigned to cards by its largest competitor, PSA. Now, Beckett have a chief visionary officer. So these companies are looking for vision. This is a time of great innovation and vision in the collectibles industry. He said this in a video since taken down on Beckett's Twitter timeline. Scott Roskin said, "We have spent months and months and months talking to all sorts of hobby participants going through this, and believe me, this is the best thing for the hobby." I have a feeling he's going to get the old Josh Luber treatment.
Apparently he's still around.
Chief Vision Officer Luber?
Yeah.
But he's not public.
No, he's to himself, but he was saying some crazy shit at the Mint Collective, apparently.
Chief Vision Officers in the hobby and Chelsea managers go like a just to death.
I thought that was part of the statement.
No. After hearing and reading comments from customers, they said the company officials met and decided to delay moving ahead with its intended plan. The reversal was announced on Saturday. So, the change to align Gem Mint grades with its peers was one of the moves meant to recharge Beckett's grading service, which faces not only strong competition from the ever-growing PSA, but also SGC and CSG. One of the collector's biggest concerns about the proposed change was the value retained by the 9.5 Gem Mints already in circulations, but beyond market price reactions, there were other questions. Can I get a 9.5 reslabbed to a 10? If so, would it come at a reduced price for active Beckett customers? Would cards submitted to be reslabbed be subject to the new grading inspection? And would a new inspection jeopardise a card already graded Gem Mint? So we're going to hear more next week from Beckett on this.
No, they scrapped it.
No, but they said they'll have more to say about their plans later this week.
I think they scrapped it.
No, but they're going to do something. They're going to say...
No, but I think maybe... When was this thing posted?
Yesterday.
Okay.
So Beckett have to... They can't climb down. They have to say, we're going to put our heads together and come up with something else. Because they can't be a huge...
But like, the problem is their entire thing...
Yeah.
Was that their 10 was like, ooh...
Yeah.
But they want their 9.5 to just be equal to PSA, which is fine. It's fine to want that. I don't know why there's 4 10s there, Jason, on that screen.
Yeah.
Why is there 2 Gem Mints? What's that about?
So because there's different configurations, you see.
They both say 10 Gem Mint. I know that there's...
Yeah. So the new scale that they... So right now, you can get a Beckett 9.5, that's Gem Mint, and then you can get a pristine 10.
The pristine 10, you need to have 3 10s.
And then if you have 4 10s, you get a black label pristine.
Yeah.
Right? So they said, we're going to scrap that, and we're going to start from 9.5 again. So what they suggested was Mint Plus, which is a 9.5 now. Mint would have been a 9.5. Multiple subgrade combinations can exist to achieve the designation Mint Plus. The highest combination would be 4 9.5s. Or you can have 1 10 and 3 9.5s, and you can get a 10 Gem Mint. You can also get a 10 Gem Mint if you have 2 10s and 2 9.5s.
In my personal collection, I have 1 9.5 that I'm officially cracking and sending to PSA.
Right.
That's all I can say about that.
Then you get a gold label pristine, which is 3 10s and 1 9.5, and then you get a black label pristine, which consists of...
The black label is the best thing about BGS.
Yeah.
Beckett. It's beautiful.
So this just did not go down well at all.
Because it's ridiculous. And it's also like, if I have a load of 9.5s that actually have 10 subgrades, do I now have to go through the effort to send it to Beckett to fix it? And do I have to pay for that? Or are they just going to be backlogged fixing all the 9.5s? Like, what are you... I understand, though, in fairness, the only thing I'll say, they have been just sliding down. It used to just be PSA or BGS, and I'm pretty sure back in the day BGS actually had more respect than PSA. So I would say since Dr. Beckett, I don't know, the decline and Dr. Beckett leaving is probably, if you had those 2 graphs, they're probably fairly clean together. I don't know enough about it, to be honest. But yeah, they've been, because even like last year, I believe, when they announced their new slabs, then they backtracked that as well. So it's a lot of badness.
Yeah, the new holders.
No, but the new style of, the big B with the star.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think they initially were like, this is our new logo, and then they initially said no, it's actually not.
Just to give you a quick bit of background on James Beckett.
That's important.
James Beckett is an American statistician. This is from Wikipedia. Statistician, author, editor, and publisher. His publications are well known to sports card collecting. So he earned a degree in a PhD degree in statistics at Southern Methodist University in 1975. Then became an associate professor at Bowling Green University. While he was there, he began preparing baseball card price guides, which he offered free upon request. He's a hobbyist. He's a collector first and foremost.
He's hardcore as well.
Beckett price guides rely upon information from sellers throughout the United States to supply information on customer interest and sales of products. So he's doing like...
He used to be eBay comps.
He's doing eBay comps before...
Internet was a thing.
Yeah. Price guides typically carry two value labels, one upon a high value, one upon a low value. So he's giving you a range.
That's brilliant.
Brilliant. As a condition of collectibles is important as assigning their value, Beckett price guides also typically include a series of definition estimating conditions. So he started grading because he was pricing, and you can't price without condition.
Genius.
Now, in 1984, he began publishing Beckett Baseball Card Monthly. A rival publication called Tough Stuff was also founded that year. Beckett Baseball Card Monthly grew in popularity, became the basis for Beckett Media, now based in Dallas, Texas. Beckett Publications produce price guides for a variety of sports collectibles. Market values for non-sports cards like Pokemon and other related products are also tracked. Beckett retained an advisor as the position as senior advisor for Beckett Media, but is no longer editor/publisher as he was in the 1980s and 90s. The publishing company became a leading publisher of sports and entertainment market collectible guides and was acquired by Prize Media in 2005.
Oh, interesting.
Then there's stuff about his personal life, the most interesting part of which is from time to time Beckett attends some of the most prominent sports cards and collectible conventions held in various US cities and is considered a celebrity within the industry.
I love him.
Could say that on your Wikipedia article.
Me.
From time to time, Enzo attends some of the most prominent sports cards and collectible conventions in various cities around the world and is considered a celebrity within the industry.
Not until I get my card.
Not until you get your card.
But yeah, in general, I don't know, Beckett. To be honest, I think it's kind of a thing where no matter what they do, everyone kind of is going to slate them now. They almost have that kind of internet thing where they could come up with a great idea. Their chief vision officer could chief vision.
Yeah.
And I think they're just going to be slated. I think it's almost... I'm trying to think of like a comparative. Maybe Spurs.
Well, I had a thought about this based on something that you said to me on the last podcast.
Okay.
We were talking about CSG. And you said, and we were reacting to some news or whatever, and you said to me, well, look, are you going to grade with them either way? And I said, no. And you said, well, it doesn't matter. And that's how I felt about people getting really angry on the timeline.
But BGS. But there's so many, like, because there is legacy to them, and they like, there's so many cards graded with BGS. Like, even I was thinking, like...
How do you launch without a plan, by the way, for that?
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah. So here's the change, and here's what we're going to do.
So many people have 9.5s, and now we're going to turn them to 10s. The backlog will be crazy. Yeah. And, like, with PSA, if you're re-slabbing something, I don't think you're not charged. Like, if there's an error, you're not charged.
Yeah.
If PSA slaps something and put an error on it, you're not charged to change it. But it's like, if you are changing your grading scale, I should not be charged to send it to you. But the issue is that's crazy, because they would have I don't even know how many cards. So many cards. So
then it would come down to whether or not it was a 9.5 Gem Mint or Mint Plus. But no one's gonna, because any buyer, if you're trying to sell your cards, any buyer will use that against you. Yeah. So even though, like, you know, like, if you're selling the card, everyone would agree that a Gem Mint is more than a Mint Plus, you know. Mm-hmm. But you're never gonna.
But they positioned themselves to be like, our 9.5s. They wanted their 9.5s to be equal to PSA 10s. But at the end of the day, their 9.5s are worth less than PSA 10s, and their 10s are supposed to be worth more than PSA 10s. And then their black labels are just meant to be this crazy. So they went with, like, their model was to basically say, we can create something better than a PSA 10, but it's very, very rare and unlikely. And it turns out the money is in Gem Mint 10s, which are the highest population of a black label, and a pristine 10 and a PSA 10, for example. There's more PSA 10s, so people... Not everyone's getting a black label, basically. So why... They made themselves... They forced themselves to become a niche grading company.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I don't envy the position of Beckett, because you have this thing where for years you're on par with PSA.
Yeah.
And then this boom happens, and basically just because PSA slabs look better on Instagram, it attracted the hype beast sneakerhead influx into the hobby. So when, like, the hobby went full social media and, like, had the pandemic boom and all that stuff, and it was just like people who were like, there's like a whole new influx of money who got to decide. They didn't care about the traditions, anything like that, so they got to decide, who is it? It's PSA.
Yeah. And
then Beckett found themselves drowned through no fault of their own, because they didn't foresee.
Type in a tweet that says PSA 10 versus saying BGS 9.5 just hits different.
Yeah, it's just not. It's just the way it went, and so you're kind of in a scenario now where you just go like, well, what do I do? Do I just fuck off? Like,
You haven't necessarily done anything
you
wrong.
haven't done anything wrong, yeah. But the market has just shifted out from under you, and you're just going, well, what do I do?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's not.
It's tough.
I don't envy it.
No.
But like, in fairness, so many grading companies popped up and had a real go.
Yeah.
That's like, you or Beckett, you actually have a bit like CSG or CGS. I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, CSG.
They're doing grand. You know,
But I suppose the thing is, like, they're going in just like psychologically within their organization. They're coming in. They're going, right, if we can get 1% of the market, in the first 3 years, great. Okay, now what we do? Okay, our next goal is 5% in another 5 years. But Beckett are like, we just had 60% of the market.
What's going on? What's happening?
I can't accept. I'm not going to fight. You know, I'm not going to fight SGC. I'm sure we're fighting PSA, but
it's sad because the Beckett brand is
everyone
knows.
It means something.
Like, I've never seen the price guides, but I've heard about them. You know.
Yeah.
I knew Dr. Beckett without even.
But even somebody you go on the Beckett website to try and find a pop report. You're creating an account. You're signing in. It's like, guys,
it's messy.
So naturally, then you're like, PSA. I'm going to check their pop reports.
It's clean. It's smooth.
It's just, you know,
that does make a difference.
It's the user experience.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that. I think for me the big thing is Beckett never really shifted to like the online version of the hobby.
The PSA website is unbelievable, and it has its flaws, but it's like, as far as usability, unbelievable. I struggle. Like, is there even QR codes on the back of a Beckett slab?
I don't think so.
No. I don't know how old this Beckett slab I'm looking at is, but I don't think I've ever seen it. And it's like, what's that?
Yeah. Can we not?
Because that's it. Where would the QR code go?
Yeah.
To their pop report.
You can't access it unless you have an account.
You have to battle with it.
So we feel sorry for Beckett, what I would call an analog company in a digital world.
Damn. Do you know what? That's it. I felt bad for Extravision, but at the end of the day, goodbye.
It's dog eat dog out here.
People need to make moves.
Yeah, people need to make moves. The progress doesn't stop.
Sorry, Beckett. I don't think SGC don't even have QR codes on the back. But
don't need them.
They're vintage.
Yeah,
they've tailored themselves to analog people.
Yeah.
I don't hate a BGS 9.5, by the way.
No,
and I love subgrades, but I prefer subgrades on the back.
A couple of things from the last episode of the podcast. So we talked about the Mbappe Kaboom from 2018. And we got a lot of information based on this, because we were going. It just said on all of the slabs. It said Panini 2018 Panini Kaboom, and we're like, wait, but is it from Select? Is it from Donruss? What is it?
What is it from?
Is it its own thing? Whatever. So it turns out it is its own thing, and loads of people reached out. But I'm going to read what Doug said, right? So Doug got in touch, which is UK Baller Cards, UK_Baller_cards on Instagram. And Doug said, I'm sure someone else has reached out. They had, Doug, but I'm going to use yours. But if not, the 2018 Kabooms are kind of correctly labelled on slabs, as they never came out from a set, which is why, in my opinion, they are the worst Kabooms. Mm-hmm. They were Panini Rewards cards, came in little packs of 2 cards, where both cards were Kabooms. 2 per pack as opposed to 1 per case. 50 card checklist, where 25 were NBA, 15 NFL, 5 MLB, and 5 soccer. Wow. So that was the story. They were online exclusives.
I kind of like that, though. Like, I know people hate them, but imagine if you could open a packet with 2 Kabooms in it.
Be very exciting.
That would be exciting.
But as we know,
from things that are not embedded into a hobby box, into a checklist,
just
hard to
people
chase.
don't care.
People don't care. But I think enough time went that people are kind of uneducated on it.
Yeah, but then I feel like a lot of people who were here at the time, they like remembered it, and they were like, no, they're not real Kabooms. I feel like we got a lot of that kind of
gatekeeping.
A lot of gatekeeping.
But it's fair, like, that's good education.
Yeah, it is good education.
All Kabooms are not made equal.
No. Some Kabooms are more equal than others.
I've seen like a 1 of 1. I don't know if they have 1 of 1 Kabooms everywhere. Because there was green 1 of 1 Mbappe Kaboom that I seen, and I was like, I don't think I've ever seen a 1 of 1 Kaboom. I've only seen the gold Kabooms. 1 of 1. I guess Kabooms are very rare if they're 1 of 1.
You hardly ever see.
But I'd imagine if they did it for those weird Panini packs, they probably did it. They probably have it. But I don't know. I feel like we would have heard more about 1 of 1 Kaboom. Someone correct me on that.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a whole interesting article here.
Oh, I see one.
You see a 101?
Yeah, a John Elway from 2021 Absolute. So not from that set. So there is green 101 kabooms, and maybe they're in every set, or maybe not. I don't know. Why green?
I don't know.
Okay. Suppose they have to be some colour.
There is an interesting article here on Kaboom on UK baller cards, so I recommend going and reading that if you like. A little history of kabooms. Also, another thing we said was I believe Zach had written in and said to us that he may have found a little loophole where the 2022 National Treasures Messi patches were match worn, and he couldn't find any other Panini or Topps patches that
said match
worn. A couple people got in touch. Brad got in touch and said 2020 Panini Immaculate patch autos of Messi were match worn from his Club World Cup kit, especially the booklet patch auto. So it's 2020 Immaculate.
Okay.
Panini.
High end.
And then KJA Card said, listen to the recent podcast and Messi patches athlete worn and match used from Topps Museum. So KJA says the Topps Museum ones are match used.
Okay, Champions League probably.
I all I could see was player worn on the ones I looked at, but I'm not willing to
look at them all.
So I have to believe you. So we've set the record straight on the Kaboom and on the Messi match worn patches, and then we have a listener question.
Okay.
Get ready for this.
Let us know.
So this is from Michael.
Hello, Michael.
Hi. I started listening to your now I'm Michael.
Okay.
Hi, I started listening to your podcast about 3 days ago.
Wow.
And I'm up to episode 13.
That's the beginner's guide, I believe.
It's on episode 17.
Don't know. Don't remember.
Maybe
it is.
I have a question about not Club World Cup, just World Cup stickers. Would it be a good investment to hold unopened boxes or to try and pull the Messi CR7 and Hot Rookies?
Depends what year.
Lean into that microphone for me.
Depends what year, Jason.
Yeah. I presume he means the latest World Cup.
If you're sitting on the American version, which has potential parallels, I would hold.
Yeah, but if you're sitting on just regular bog standard Irish stickers,
I don't even know if I'd say open or hold.
Just whatever. But you know, can I just... The interesting thing about this question is that this person's listening episode 13, so that's what, 12 weeks into the podcast, 13 weeks into the podcast.
Yeah.
So that would put you in October 2020.
Yes.
Very different world back then.
Different time.
When a sticker, you could, dreams were made.
You could do a lot with stickers.
You could do a lot with a sticker back then.
If they have the parallels in them from this year's World Cup, I'd hold them because I think that's cool. It's unique. It's cool. Otherwise, I don't think there's a lot you can do with stickers. Even with the rookies, I think it's limited. If you grade it, you get a 10. There's only a certain value you would have.
Yeah.
But also holding World Cup sticker boxes. I mean, again, it's Messi's winning the World Cup. I think it only makes sense from a value proposition if you're holding the ones that have potential parallels in it, even though the Messi 101's already been hit.
Okay, I think it's fair. Now I have to go back to Michael and say we've done this. We've answered this on the podcast, so you'll have your answer in 136.
I feel like people
episodes.
listen, people that are, because there's a few people binging the old one. Someone was complimenting an Irishman, was complimenting Card College, and was complimenting the Beginner's Guide, maybe, or no, Postcards United, not the Beginner's Guide. I have a feeling people that are binging the old episodes are also up to date on the new ones. You know, it's that thing, like if you're listening to a show or whatever, you've listened to this week's, now there's nothing else, you have to wait a week or you wait a few days. We do twice a week, people. We do twice a week.
Yeah.
You just go back then.
Yeah.
To eat up time, you're catching up, but I think you're still staying in tune with the latest.
Okay.
So I have a feeling he will have heard this.
Right. So should I? But I should still tell him, should I?
Yeah, you should talk to him for sure.
I'll talk to him. I'll have a chat with Michael. Let's see if we can work something out. So that's. I think we're all cleared up in terms of that, and we're all good.
We're good.
So I'm ready to. I'm just about ready to close off Hobby HQ.
Okay, that's it, done. Hobby HQ in the books.
In the books, a big one today.
Big.
Now let's just quickly talk about football. On Saturday morning, we had Manchester City hosting Liverpool.
A cracking game.
No Erling Haaland up front. He's injured. So that wasn't a complete lie he told to Norway. I was pretty sure it was.
You were convinced?
I was convinced it was a lie, but I've gone all out of focus. What's happened? That was weird. It was scary.
Don't speak on Erling Haaland's name.
Yeah, I was haunted by the Manchester City media team. So no Haaland for City. Alvarez started up front, and Liverpool looked like they were going to continue their very good form against the top teams this season. When Mo Salah scored to make it 1-0 to Liverpool. He's now scored in all 4 meetings between the two teams this season. But just like that time they scored early against Real Madrid and then got smashed, it was a false dawn. And Julian Alvarez, Kevin De Bruyne, Ilkay Gundogan, and Jack Grealish, who was very, very good all game, made it 4-1 between them.
It's a good game.
And Liverpool have never looked more like they needed a whole new midfield in their lives. They just need all new midfielders.
Everyone else is fine.
Everyone else is fine. Just get new midfielders.
It's not difficult, people.
What's going on?
Jude Bellingham. You're crying out for him.
You go and get Bellingham.
You go and get him.
You go and get him. That's what Hurricane would say. You go and get him.
How much is he? 150 million? Doesn't matter.
How much could he be?
Put him in the midfield. Yeah.
Because you're starting with Harvey Elliott. Fabinho is still getting the game, by the way.
Because he uses his golden era. To be fair, it's just
his legs are gone.
Yeah, but they worked too hard during the glory years on the club. That's it. That's how they were so good, is that they ran so much.
They ran themselves into the ground.
And you can't sustain that for a long period of time.
Yeah.
There you go.
But just...
Unless you're Mo Salah.
What a player he is, by the way.
But like Henderson, Milner, they need to go.
Yeah,
Fabinho's in the bin.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I can say.
And then I don't even really want to talk about it, but Bayern smashed Dortmund in their
we're not talking about that.
We're not talking about that. But
the same thing
Thomas Tuchel is now the Bayern manager,
which is great.
So that's...
We want to talk about a team battering another team. Let's talk about AC Milan putting on a masterclass.
A masterclass at the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona.
Listen, they didn't have Victor Osimhen, but that didn't matter for nothing.
Yeah, what's he in goal?
Yeah,
what's he? Central defender.
He's not stopping Rafael Leao.
Might have been 4-1.
Maybe.
Leao was electric. Brahim Diaz and Alexis Salamakers
was unbelievable. Tonali was a bull, they said.
He was a bull in the midfield.
A bull.
Yeah, Liverpool could use him.
A rhino. No, he's not getting him. I'd like him to have a long career, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Krunic again. Brilliant. Benacer. It was brilliant. I'm just delighted, and it's a good... Again, it's very important because we're going to play them in the UEFA Champions League quarterfinals for an opportunity to play a semi-final against either Inter Milan or Benfica. So, like, by all accounts, as a Milan fan, you couldn't have wished for a more likely or more positively probable likelihood of potentially
getting... It's a friendly draw.
It's a friendly draw to get into a Champions League final, basically. Now, it's no guarantee, of course. But yeah, it basically, if you're about to have a two-legged tie against a team, you want to rock up and you have a league game away, going to their home, you rock up, you put 4 past them.
Yeah.
You're walking around with a swagger. Now, it doesn't mean anything.
Advantage Milan.
Psychological advantage Milan for this quarterfinals. And or we woke up a sleeping beast, Jason, and now they're going to be ready for us. They're going to say, ooh, hold on a minute. We rocked up there and we said, oh, by the way, we're the champions. And to be honest, I think having a proper goalkeeper in goal has kind of changed our season for the positive.
I don't know if you saw it, but at half time, Luciano Spalletti, the Napoli manager, was telling Rafa Leao to cool it down on the celebrations and the gloating. And Paolo Maldini said to Spalletti, this is all happening in the tunnel, he said to Spalletti, will you calm down, you've already won the league, what are you getting so angry about?
Because the Champions League, the backdrop of that entire game was the Champions League.
It's a prelude.
It's a prelude of what's to come, and it was a 4-0 drubbing. Obviously, they were missing their main goal scoring threat, and I think they play totally differently when he's up there.
Yeah.
But we put 4 by them, so let's have it.
Up to third now in Serie A.
I said to you said something like, you posted on Twitter, like, oh, Enzo, and they have to play Napoli 3 times in 2 weeks. Now I said, we're going to get them. And we're doing it. 1 down.
It's best of 3. We'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, that was the least important one of the 3. So
don't go easy. Don't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Oh, we're going to do it.
And also some seconds in the Premier League. Brendan Rodgers gone out of Leicester because he got beaten by 97-year-old Roy Hodgson, who made his return to Crystal Palace. Who else got sacked? Oh, Graham Potter.
Grahamie Potter.
So I believe when Graham Potter was hired, I think we sat on this podcast and we said, why have you done that? You're going to get sacked. And he just thought it was a good idea and he went and did it and he got sacked. So Congratulations to him for a big payday.
But he didn't get a payday.
Didn't get a payday.
No, apparently there was a clause in his contract,
Yeah.
allegedly, that means if Chelsea dropped into the bottom half of the table, out of the top half, they don't have to pay him 50 million. And the day he got sacked was the same day, for the first time since he's been hired, that they were below the top half.
I tell you what.
A stipulation, Jason.
Why? Because you're signing that and you're going, well, it's not going to be a
That
problem.
won't happen. The bottom half.
I've been in the top half of Brighton the whole time.
Yeah, I can be in the top half of him.
Yeah.
Kyle Mudryk and the gang.
Yeah.
There you
Terrible.
go. No 50 million. He might get something, like a reduced, but
Yeah, he
it's
probably
not.
gets a little severance, something to keep him going.
But it's not 50 million.
Here's a cool 2 mil to see you through to the summer.
There's a few bits.
Yeah.
So Todd Bowley really was
This
waiting.
guy, I mean,
he knew.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying, why is Potter still here? He's going, because he's declining just enough for me to
I'm
save.
I'm
30
giving him
million.
enough rope. And he's going to... Yep. So,
Should've
I
done
reckon...
what Conte did and just went out and slandered everyone and got purposely sacked, because how could you not?
Yeah.
But no, Todd Bowley knew.
And poor old Spurs, because they were looking at Conte gone and Nagelsmann gone out of Bayern, thinking, should we could hire Julian Nagelsmann? And Todd Bowley said, nope. Boop. And he sacked Potter so that he could hire probably Nagelsmann.
You think so?
I think so. I don't see who else he would hire.
Yeah, there's no one. This is...
The market's not rich at the moment.
They've sacked 2 managers in the same season now, haven't
Yeah.
they? Yeah, mad.
I mean, you've sacked the Bayern Munich, the current Bayern Munich manager.
To get the replace the one that got sacked for him.
Yeah. It's
You,
just...
you almost can't bring in Nagelsmann, because then you have to feel foolish.
Because what are you doing?
If Bayern are saying, geez, we'll get rid of him to bring him in, and meanwhile you got rid of him to get Potter in.
Yeah. Tough.
There
Tough
you go.
position.
It's not easy.
Beckett executives and Chelsea managers. That's the name of this episode. Right. We'll see you on Thursday for a very special Q&A show. Enzo, are you going to just be putting some stuff up on the old social media when you're over to see Man United?
I will do, yeah.
Just let us have a little peek into the match day experience, would you?
Behind what it's like to play against the Brentford Bees.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Okay, great. Have a good week, everyone.